Today we're introducing something completely new. A new way to think about front-end development. CrocoBuilder combines a modern web architecture with intelligent automation, helping developers build faster without compromising control, flexibility, or scalability. Powered by features like Atomic DOM output, AI-first components builder, a unified design system, CSS sync, and powerful interactions, it is designed to simplify every stage of the development process. And this is not just another website builder. This is the next generation of building for the web. Now let's see CrocoBuilder in action. In this video, we'll build a complete page from scratch, showing you how CrocoBuilder works every step of the way. Here is the CrocoBuilder editor's interface. On the left, you'll find the Elements panel, where you can quickly add the building blocks of your page. Behind every block is Atomic DOM output. Each element you place in the builder maps directly to a single DOM element, producing clean, predictable HTML. On the right, the Elements tree gives you a clear view of your page structure, making it easy to navigate, organize, and manage even the most complex layouts. At the top, you'll find powerful tools designed to support every stage of the building process. Here are the main ones. The AI assistant can generate entire page structures from a single prompt, and we will take a closer look at it later in the video. Whether you prefer full control or an AI-guided workflow, CrocoBuilder lets you switch between both experiences instantly without interrupting your creative process. Responsive breakpoints allow you to preview, adjust, and fine-tune your design for different screen sizes. And if the default breakpoints aren't enough, you can easily create your own to fit any project requirements. At the heart of CrocoBuilder is a powerful design system. Manage CSS classes, common styles, and variables, create custom queries, build reusable components, and when you're ready, import or export your entire design system in just a few clicks, spending less time on repetitive work and more time building great experiences. And this is where it all begins. I'll start by generating our design system with AI. Based on the landing page design, it generates a clean, reusable CSS architecture. Once I click Parse and Import, CrocoBuilder automatically creates our design system from the generated file. Classes, CSS variables, and common styles are all available in their dedicated tools, making them easy to manage and reuse throughout the project. With our design system ready, let's start building the page from scratch and see how quickly we can turn a blank canvas into a fully structured website. In the first block, I'll place a container and a heading that will serve as a site logo. I'll begin by applying the text class to the highlighted part of the heading, then add the container CSS class to the div so it follows our design system. We've already explored the General tab, where you can assign classes, configure attributes, and manage the basic settings of an element. Now let's take a closer look at the Styles tab. Here you can work visually or write CSS directly, whichever fits your workflow. I'll start by adjusting the padding in the CSS editor. And as soon as the code is applied, the visual controls update automatically to reflect the same values. That's the power of two-way synchronization. Whether you're writing code or using visual controls, CrocoBuilder keeps both views perfectly in sync. The next section will be Hero 1, and I'll add a couple of containers for the heading and an image. Since the same heading style will be used multiple times across the page, it's better to make a component. For that, I will go to Component Builder. This powerful tool gives you complete freedom to create components of any complexity. Built on standard HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, it supports virtually any layout, interaction, or functionality you can imagine. Prefer writing code? You can build every component by hand with full flexibility. Rather let AI do the heavy lifting? Simply describe what you need and the AI assistant will generate the component structure for you. You can also define editable properties, including text, images, colors, for easy styling directly in the builder, and repeaters perfect for dynamic content like pricing plans, feature lists, testimonials, and more. Since this component won't be a complex one, I will create it manually, but stay tuned, and a bit later in the video, we will ask our AI assistant to generate a component. Once it is styled, now I'll just need to select the component on the Elements panel and add it to the page. Because the styling is built into the component, I only needed to update the content. The design stays perfectly consistent every time it is reused. Next, I'll add another heading to the same container. I'll apply one of the imported classes to highlight part of the text. Then set the font properties using our global variables, and choose the appropriate color to match the design. I'll switch the main container to a flex layout and position the image alongside the text, creating the structure for the entire section. A few final CSS adjustments bring everything together. The buttons will be built with the help of link and SVG blocks. Since we have removed the restrictions on clickable elements, you can now easily build complex buttons with icons or wrap entire visual sections in a clickable link without dealing with multiple confusing settings, and keep your site lightweight and user-friendly. With the buttons in place, styling becomes incredibly simple. The design system handles the appearance through reusable classes, while I only update the icons and adjust the icon sizes. In just a few clicks, everything comes together with a consistent, polished result. I'll fast forward through the next section as I apply the same design system and the layout principles. Next, let's build the pricing section. I'll start by adding the heading and the component we created earlier. This is where reusable components really shine. You simply update the content and the styling is applied automatically. After adding a few supporting elements, we'll be ready for the next step. Let's take a closer look at the component builder and its AI assistant and see how an entire component can go from idea to implementation in just a few clicks. So with our AI-first components builder, you can generate components using natural language prompts instead of manually assembling layouts. The AI assistant can create complex structures and interactive elements that automatically align with your design system. Components can also be registered as reusable and used beyond the builder environment. Let's ask it to create a reusable pricing card component with configurable fields and a repeater-based features list using the existing style variables and button classes. Alright, at this point AI has created everything we need, so let's take a look at the properties first. We got a variation property with a select type. It lets you create multiple versions of the same component without duplicating it. Here, a few simple conditions in the component's HTML, combined with the CSS modifiers, automatically change the card's appearance, update the button style, and control whether the featured badge is displayed. Then we have price and currency elements, a button, and also features. In this example, the list is powered by a repeater property. Instead of creating separate fields for every feature, you can add as many items as you need, giving the component the flexibility to adapt to any pricing plan. And this is exactly what we need. Let's get back to our page to add this component. We need more cards for the Pro and Business plans, so let's just duplicate the same component. I'll set the center card to the featured variation, given its own unique styling. Then I will customize each plan's title, price, and the list of features. Thanks to repeater fields, the feature list is completely dynamic. I can add, remove, or rearrange items, allowing the same component to adapt to every pricing plan without any extra work. In just a few clicks, we transformed one single component into a complete pricing section with different layouts, content, and styles. This is the real power of CrocoBuilder's component builder. Now, how about exploring the built-in interactivity and visual effects? We believe that creating engaging experiences shouldn't require complex code, so now with CrocoBuilder, you can build rich interactions, animations, dynamic states, and the user-driven actions all through an intuitive visual interface. What challenges do we face in this case? You can notice that these are not just regular tabs. When you click on a different feature, lots of elements change, like the icon, description, along with the image next to the tabs. So let's recreate this section and see how CrocoBuilder allows you to build complex interactive experiences visually while keeping everything organized and easy to manage. I already asked AI to create this component, along with the component logic. Behind this interaction is a simple state management logic that controls which feature is active, allowing multiple elements to respond to a single user action. So in this case, the icon will change and the description will show up on click. With the component in place, let's move on to building the content panel. I'll add an image, heading, text, and the tags that will update dynamically as different tabs are selected. These two elements will serve as an example so we can easily duplicate them later to speed up the process. At first, we need to define the attributes that will control each element's state. These attributes will act as the connection between our tabs and content, allowing us to determine which section is active and which ones remain hidden when the interactions are applied. I'll start by setting the first panel's data active attribute to true, making it visible by default. Then I will assign a unique class that will be used later for the interactions. With this button right here, you can add interactivity to your website. In the Interactions settings window, you will be able to set triggers like mouse enter or leave, page load, click, and so on. And among the available actions are show and hide element and also set or delete attribute. I'll add two interactions, one to deactivate all panels on the right and another to activate the one associated with the selected tab on click. The tabs in my case act as the triggers and the content panels respond. Each interaction targets the right panel using its CSS selector, making it easy to control exactly what appears on the screen. Since the interaction logic is already in place, the only thing left is to update the data active attributes for the duplicated panels. The first panel stays set to true, while the remaining panels are set to false and will only appear while their corresponding tabs are clicked. And now let's see everything in action. With the interactions set up, each tab controls its corresponding content panel, updating the active state and creating a seamless experience for the user. At this time, instead of using a component, I'll build the first card from individual blocks, place it into a grid layout, and duplicate it to complete the section. This also demonstrates that CrocoBuilder doesn't lock you into a single approach. You can build with reusable components, assemble layouts from individual blocks, or combine both through the same project. For the testimonials section, I'll bring in a component I created with the help of AI Assistant. It includes flexible properties for everything we need, from star rating and review content to the client's name. Now I can reuse the component and turn it into a complete testimonials section. I'll place the testimonial card into a collection block, and this is where things get really powerful. The same component can instantly become a grid, a slider, or an accordion without recreating the layout or duplicating content. It gives you the freedom to change how your content is presented while keeping everything consistent. But the collection block goes far beyond switching layouts. It intelligently adapts to the way your content is presented. Choose an accordion and you'll get styling controls tailored to accordion headers and panels. Switch to a slider, and a completely different set of controls becomes available for slides, active state, containers, and more. The interface evolves with your layout, keeping everything focused and intuitive. One tool, multiple layouts, context-aware controls. Everything you need to build and style your content exactly the way you want. Now let's bring dynamic content into the page, and this is where the query loop becomes incredibly useful. It displays dynamic content from any query you create, and the queries can be selected from existing ones or created directly within the editor. That's right, the built-in query builder offers the same familiar experience as JetEngine's query builder, but now it's a part of the editor itself, allowing you to create queries and display dynamic content without ever leaving your workflow. That means you can define your queries, connect them to a query loop, and build dynamic sections without switching between different interfaces. Now, if you worked with listing grids before, this workflow will feel instantly familiar. A query loop item plays the same role as a listing item, while the collection serves as the container that displays all queried results. I'll add an image, heading, text, and button. Then connect each one to dynamic data by simply choosing the appropriate token, whether it's a post title, featured image, excerpt, or link, and the CrocoBuilder fills in the rest automatically. And just like that, we have a fully dynamic post grid built entirely with CrocoBuilder's query loop. CrocoBuilder also comes with built-in display conditions, allowing you to show or hide elements based on custom rules through a workflow that will feel familiar to JetEngine users. And that's still only part of the story. The AI assistant isn't limited to generating individual components. It can create entire page structures from a single prompt, helping you turn an idea into a fully built page instead of starting from scratch. We're also introducing MCP integration, allowing you to connect your favorite AI coding agent and work with CrocoBuilder directly from your AI workspace. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, as we will take a closer look at these capabilities in our upcoming videos. So today you've seen just a glimpse of what CrocoBuilder can do. From AI-powered workflows and reusable components to a unified design system, visual interactions, and a predictable front-end architecture. Every feature is designed to help you build faster without giving up control. We're excited to put CrocoBuilder in your hands and can't wait to see what you will create. If you're as excited about the future of front-end development as we are, let us know what you think in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback, answer your questions, and see what you build with CrocoBuilder. Welcome to the next generation of front-end building.